Spoken Labour. I haven't thought about flying for a long time. I haven't dreamed of that moment when I was alone above the clouds for a long time. I haven't dreamed of waking up in a room surrounded in blue and green grass for more years than I could dream of remembering. I haven't walked back into the past or scratched on the doors of my origins, where it all came from, since I held up that cape for the last time.
Return to Cape Town 10th Year Anniversary Edition is a revised version of Andy N's first poetry book. The book can be purchased from Amazon and it contains numerous additional material.
Spoken Label. Hi, it's Andy N from Spoken Label. Thank you today for streaming or downloading another episode of Spoken Label. Spoken Label was originally set up on beginning of 2016 and as of speaking has currently nearly 300 sessions. The full archive is available on Spoken Label bandcamp.com. Although it is available for free for stream and download if you wish, I am always grateful for any sort of kind of donation to enable me to keep the running costs of this podcast going. And enjoy. Take care. Bye bye. Spoken Label.
Hi guys, Andy N, Spoken Label, back in the house on a Sunday evening. I've got a dear friend with me today, and it's the first time I've actually spoke to this young lady, actually. Although I have known her for probably a good part of 4 years now, but we've been aware of each other for a damn sight longer, and haven't we, Katy? So
yeah, it's been a while, hasn't it?
It's been a while, hasn't it? Yeah, because it's a good networking process, Facebook. Because I've got a young lady called Katy Tell me how you pronounce this right, Katy. Is it Katy Konrad? Is it? So I got that right?
Yeah, I did have a separate Katy Konrad poet Facebook, but I got locked out of it a few years ago. So I tend to use mainly Instagram and Blogger now. But yeah, Katy Konrad is right.
I thought so, yeah. Now, well, see, I first became aware of you before Katy might tell me off here. Was it 2010 or 11? About 10 years ago,
2010, yeah, because that's when I moved to, year after I moved to Chester and started going to quite a lot of open mic nights.
Yeah, we've not actually formally met. It's quite interesting, but I know, obviously, I support you. I commented a lot of your videos and poems over the years. You've done the same to me. And then I actually ever sent the first message to you on Facebook. What was it? You reckon 3 years ago, didn't you?
3 years ago, yeah.
Yeah, 3 years ago. Honestly, I went. Long story short, Katy had shit going on. Put it bluntly, didn't you? So, and we've been friends ever since, really. So now, Katy, obviously, people that don't know you, obviously, you better give everybody the spiel, hadn't you? Tell them where you're from,
interview. I'm Katy Konrad, also known as Purple Poetess, sometimes known as Rebel Poetess. I've been writing since I was like 5. It's in my blood. And originally from Somerset, Southwest, and then moved to the Northwest, to Liverpool, John Moores University when I was 18. When I was growing up, I would say I always felt like many writers, a bit of an odd one out, a bit of a black sheep. So going to uni and studying really made me feel like part of a community, and going to a club in Liverpool as well called the Crazy House, where it was all the alternative filtered generation, I'd call us. You finally felt like you'd found your people, and that's how I feel about poetry now, the groups that I go to and the online community. Moved to Liverpool, was there to cut a long story short, 7 years. Moved backwards and forwards down south for about a year. Nephew was born, and then moved to Chester in 2009.
Wow, God, that's some going, that one. Obviously now people know, well, you're not in Chester anymore. We know that anyway. So you're back down south again.
In Southwest at the moment with family. Moved back here 2 years ago. It was the right time. I get bored quite easily, so it was the right time to make that time for family. My parents are retired now. You know, they're not going to be here forever. I'm lucky to still have them both, but wanted to have a bit of time for me by the sea. I've been learning to bodyboard, writing, found a brilliant supportive group down here writing. So I don't really plan the future, where I'm going to end up or what I'm going to do. I know I want travel to be part of it, but you can write from anywhere, can't you?
Yeah. All you need is a pen and paper, which I've got next to me in a minute because I'm scribbling notes to go along. Yeah, completely. Now I found it interesting then, like you said, like when you wrote your first piece and you were 5. Well, that's some good. In my case, I know I was 10. So
really?
I know. Have you still got records of a lot of your early writings? Have you? Or is it all...
Somewhere, I think I wrote a short story about a man whose arms are made of saucepans.
Brilliant.
Yeah, that was probably one of the first ones. And I remember I wrote this poem for my mum, and it was about how lovely she was, and it was like her face like an apple in the morning dew, and her feet padding down like a cat on soft paws or something. So I was about 7 or 8 then.
Wow. Yeah, my second one was, in fact, my first one was I wrote a poem about the colours of the sky, and I got it all wrong because I'm colourblind, so it doesn't help matters. But the second one got me, I always remember this, the second one got me detention in school, it did. Because at 11, because what I did was I went to a school trip to Chester Zoo, actually, bizarrely enough, when I was 11, and they asked us to write a poem about our day at the zoo. And I didn't like the teacher very much. We were teaching us, so I wrote so basically said that a lion broke out the cage and at the teacher.
Oh, God.
They didn't like that very much. I don't know why. So,
No,
so anyway, okay. You've touched on a couple of things I want to talk about today. Anyway, first of all, now obviously I know you said before you are sometimes known as the Purple Poetess, aren't you? So
yeah.
Tell people where that came from then.
God, it's hard to remember now. It's been about 12 years. I think one of my friends started a blog and I was inspired to start one too. I always loved the colour purple, and I think I just came up with Purple Poetess. The actual blog is called A Quick Brown Fox Jumps Over the Lazy Dog, which some people might know. I think it's the sentence in English that uses every letter of the alphabet in the one sentence. So that started out in 2009, that first blog.
Yeah, and obviously then, what made you want to go into blogging?
I've always liked writing, and mainly poetry, and it was just another way of expressing myself, really. I was like you, I was working in civil service at the time, which was, it's a reliable job, but it doesn't always fulfill that creative side of you. So I needed an outlet, really, for that noise in my head, in a way, to get my thoughts out.
Yeah, no, I agree completely. I think you do need that sometimes. It was like it's sometimes other ways you don't do is you go cracker sometimes. That's what's wrong with it. So yeah,
Definitely.
I get you completely with that. So and that's why. But yeah, I know you've been blogging for years, haven't you? So when did you do your first poetry reading?
Oh God. Hard to pinpoint one. I suppose I started going to a lot of them when I went to uni in Liverpool. There's like a great scene there, they're good poets, loads of different nights. I think that was probably mainly it. I suppose at school I did bits and pieces, but yeah, when I was about 18 or 19 mainly.
Wow. But I was later. I was much later, mate. I started.
Yeah.
I did it in uni when I was 28 and 29, 20 years ago now. And then I went to a writing group about 6 years later in 06. I did my first reading in 07. And I was drunk as a skunk in that first one. I remember it well.
I always think about that. I try not to drink at poetry nights because I think I used to at first, but then I thought, well, if it's almost like Dutch courage and I'm going to those loads of nights, I'm going to end up like quite drunk. So now I don't tend to drink before, but sometimes I'll, like tonight after we've had our chat, I'll probably have a lady honey and coke or something. So
yeah, that's fine. That's fair play. I'm pretty teetotal nowadays, but I've got the stage where I try not to do it because I don't know if you're like me. I don't know where you are. I don't know what the bar price to like. But certainly, if you go to the ones in Manchester, it can be like £6 a pint. And
it's a lot, isn't it?
I'm glad I don't drink nowadays, honestly, because it would have cost me a fortune.
Yeah, I bet.
And it's like if you go on stage with 3 or 4 pints down you, it doesn't work, don't you? Because you end up.
Recently I like half a beer. I'm like a bit tipsy, so definitely a cheap night out. But
no, that's fair play. No, it's good. It is what it is, isn't it? Are you do you ever do much writing when you're drunk? Then, do you?
Not really. No, I wouldn't say so. More recently, it's like in the middle of the night when I can't sleep, when I've got some free time, and not so much when I'm drunk. What about you?
Mine's because I'm so busy. It's crazy outside work. I don't write anywhere near as much as I used to. In my case, when I'm writing a poem, I can usually end up spending 2 weeks or 3 weeks writing a poem sometimes. Really? It's just because I'm not a very quick writer nowadays. So
sometimes I can like write one and edit it and stuff in like half an hour. So it just depends when it strikes me, really.
No, I get it completely. The only thing I tend to be quick on is haikus. I know you've been doing a lot of haikus.
Oh, the haikus, yeah, they're brilliant. I want to do more, really. My writing group I go to now, they've got this, because not all of them are poets, quite a lot of them are short story writers. But they've got this haiku book, and every time they like pass it around, and then you can like take it home and write haiku, or you can just look at the haikus in it and stuff. It's pretty cool.
Oh no, cool. So tell us, obviously, we're looking at really about your history as a writer, because obviously, like, I know obviously you had a reinvention a couple of years ago. I was over shit. That's the best way of putting it, and I apologise for the bad language. Where you became the rebel poetess. Now,
yeah, that's right. So I went through.
Why did this happen? Obviously, not talking about your personal life. What made you want to do this kind of rebranding?
I suppose in a way, I'd always. I'm an introvert, and I think sometimes there's not a lot of people that I form a close connection with straight away. So I think I was often holding myself back or not being my true self. And in writing, I felt I'd found my voice. So because I was out of the relationship that I left and I was in a bit of turmoil, reinventing maybe not even reinventing, but allowing my true voice to come out was just like free therapy for me at that time. And it, I think we've mentioned briefly, I only intended it to be the Rebel Poetess to be a blog for 10 friends to read, to like a little diary, and then it escalated and snowballed in a good way. And yeah, became really popular.
Tell people, obviously, like, it's where people know this, because over how many hits you've been getting at one point. I don't know what you're getting now on the blog, but what you're getting at one point, weren't you? And it shows you a good blogging, that's why.
Because as well, I'm always quite interested in social media. I think, like anything, there's a light and a dark side to it, but I think it can be used in a really good way. And I realised that things like mental health blogger, hashtags, that kind of thing, mental health awareness, I think it is still a bit taboo, but I think it's much more accessible and open to people. And I think because I was being so honest and open about mental health difficulties, that struck a chord with people.
Yeah, no, it did straight away. I think it's a lot of it. Sometimes sort of blogging or podcast. I said a lot of it is look at the draw, isn't it? So, and you were, I've read a lot of that blog you were doing, and it's incredibly candid and honest, and that's why people probably related to it.
And I always have an idea to it. Like I've got this, I don't know if I've ever shown you this, so you've probably seen pictures of it. This blogger's journal, and it's like full of ideas, and some of them I have used, but it's a brilliant journal. I've got a post I'm working on at the moment. It's let me just get the full title because I've had it in my head, but now you're filming me. It's gone out of my head. So it's.
Well, we're on an audio today, guys and girls. So Katy, you can hide.
It's about masculinity, and it's called "Boys Don't Cry: Masculinity, Toxic Masculinity, Male Suicide, and why we have to stop telling men to man up."
Interesting point.
I've got.
That's interesting. I don't ask you too much about that because that's going to be a blog post is going to go up. But do you find them? Because obviously I do blogging myself, and I do music as well, and like a lot of it is you're channeling different parts of your brain, aren't you?
Definitely.
And it's like do you find like it's quite you work in a different way when you're doing various bits and pieces?
Yeah, I think so, because the job I do now is working with adults with learning disabilities, so they're aged between like 18 and 25, and some of them are really creative, well, like anyone without disabilities really. And I've managed to do a few writing sessions with them. I do want to do more, but they're like, "Oh, Katy, let's do some acrostic poems in our friends' birthday cards and stuff." And it's just like makes such a difference that they go, "Oh yeah, poetry's something really fun that we can try," rather than going, "Oh, that's boring that we learned about it in school." I think a lot of people think of poetry as something that's boring from school and that's not exciting, that's dusty old books, and the fact that they're so up for anything is really rewarding. And
completely, I think you're right to the poetry. There's a common myth with that, where it is like, certainly when I was growing up in the 80s, and it was a common myth. You ended up reading poems or poets that are 100 years before you were born, sometimes more, and it's very, very hard to get into the language.
Definitely, I think now there's such an amazing scene, like nationally and internationally, like Manchester. Or you would have heard of him. I went to see once Mike Garry perform in Manchester.
I actually know Mike. I know someone knows him. So
he's amazing. Lucky enough to see him perform, and I got his book, and I follow him on Twitter as well. He's just got such a unique voice. Just love him. He did a poem. It was a poem about, was it Anthony?
And Tony Wilson. Tony Wilson,
and the YouTube video. He's got all these. You've seen it, but for people that haven't. He's got this YouTube video of all these really well-known Manchester voices, public figures, reading the lines of the poem, and it's just an incredible video. Like, if you can, go and look it up on YouTube, because it just shows you how you can use poetry in a way that grabs people's attention and does justice to someone's life.
Yeah, no, dead right. It's poetry itself nowadays is the scope for it is like you could take it in so many different directions, and like if you want to like just keep it very personal in your own notepad, or if you want people to see it, particularly in the past year or so, and I want to talk to you about next as well actually, is like over lockdown, it's so many different ways of actually called apparent now of expressing yourself, and it's going to change more now society starting to open up again. How have you found it over the past year then, Katie, with your writing? Has it been quite difficult?
I mean, yeah, in a way, I actually enjoyed lockdown because it was more time to write and more time to like have quiet time and just heal from things that happened in the past and go for walks. And walking in itself is like therapy, you know. It's but yeah, what I decided to do, because I didn't want to just like have done nothing in lockdown, I did Tim Clare Couch to 80k. So I don't know if you've heard of Tim Clare, but it's a blog, and it's trying to think how long they're about 10 minutes each one. You do it every day, and I think you have day 7 off, and however many weeks it's for. He also does a 100-day writing challenge, which I started, and to be honest, I've left it quite early on, just being busy. But those tools really helped me focus on, because 10 minutes a day isn't much, but when you're busy, it's hard to sometimes sit down and make yourself do it.
Yeah, no, I agree with you completely. Like like I found, so now I'm back into the workflow in the day, is trying to get time for writing. But I'm always a believer I will do something creative every day. I will try and read half an hour in a book every day if I can. And
does make
if I get a chance, write on top of it.
Yeah, always having a notebook on you helps. You've done NaPoWriMo as well, haven't you? Quite a lot.
I've done 9 years of it now. It's been absolutely
I did it
some are more difficult than others. So. Did you follow all the prompts on it, or did you go your own way?
I'm trying to remember. I think this year I did, and they were quite good prompts, but it does vary. Some years the prompts haven't been very good, have they? So no. But you've got off and done your own thing sometimes, haven't you, for it?
I have, And it's like I will write at least 30 pieces over in April. This year's one I did 49 haikus. And my head was like that by the end of it.
That's a good idea. That's a good thing about haikus. You can just have 5 minutes, go, write little haiku. I'm always writing them in my head, actually. But
in my case, it's like I'll often scribble down the paper, and I'll have to sit down afterwards and then look at the syllable count a lot of the time. And they just need to rejiggle it a little bit sometimes. So yeah. How did you? I think you got into haikus over lockdown, didn't you? If I remember reading correctly somewhere.
Before that, I've been doing them for years, really. I'm sure I remember back in like 2010 doing one, and it was something called like 24-hour party with people, and it was a haiku, but it was about going to an all-night McDonald's on the way to a night out in the club with a leather jacket and sunglasses on or something. So a lot of people think that haikus have to be about nature, but you could be about anything.
Yeah, not completely. It's surprising how like it's the common myth of it. It's like with poetry, really. You find out like the common myth about poetry, and I still encounter this sometimes. Like every line has to rhyme with the pre, and I thought no, it doesn't. That's why. So
I find rhyme quite interesting because, like you said, a lot of people think from school, all poems have to rhyme and be really boring. But I think it's hard to rhyme well. But if you rhyme a poem well, you can come up with something really amazing, but it takes work, I think. I don't agree that poems have to rhyme, but I think with the beat poets and stuff, it's it's a whole other realm, isn't it, really?
Yeah, no, completely with it. So do you have any sort of ideas where you want your writing to go next to? Any projects you can reveal?
I kind of feel like now I've had these ideas and blogs and poems, because I've got so many poems. Like someone said to me the other day about writing a book, and I'm like, to be honest, I've got enough poems to fill at least 2 books or more. I've got more ideas. I'm a bit of a procrastinator. I think, ideally a book. I've got a big birthday next year, 40. So
you're only a little puppy compared to me, right?
Well, yeah, we're lucky that we both look young. But
I know we look young and we look definitely so.
Yeah. But yeah, it would be amazing if I could get my act together and either self-publish or have a book published next year. I mean, there's enough time to do it. It's just focus, isn't it? I would definitely like to do a book, do more on the blog, do more of the like social media side, because I think like with the Insta poets and even we were mentioning TikTok, definitely I want to travel more. So I think the dream would be to be able to write and blog, but do it internationally, even for a year. Say take a year off and travel and do a poetry night in every country or something. It's poetry. But...
do it, definitely. Always believe,
Yeah.
always a firm believer. If you can, just try and read and write as much like places you can, because you don't know
I always
what you
think
don't.
to be a good writer, you have to be a good reader as well.
Yeah, no, I agree with you completely. Well, excellent, good luck with it, definitely. So, well, that's pretty well covered all my questions, Katie, anyway. So, obviously, let you do the hard sell now. If people want to find out more about you, where are the best going?
Yeah, probably. I'm on Facebook, but that's really my personal Facebook. So there is a Rebel Poetess page on Facebook, which I use sometimes, but the main one would be, I do tweet a little bit. Mainly, I would say Instagram. It's Purple Poetess on Instagram, and I have just joined TikTok. Did wonder if I was too old, but I'm going for it. So
you were telling about. Let's digress for a second on that, because you were telling about TikTok before we started recording.
Yeah.
It's not a program platform I've used. So, how's your experience of that been so far?
To be honest, I've been getting a bit bored of Facebook. I think it's like people posting pictures of their lunch and bragging about the babies, and when you're not married and you don't have children, then I get a bit bored of that. So Facebook's good for keeping in touch with friends and family, but so basically TikTok, it's like I think either 15 second, 30 second or 60-second videos, and you can do anything. You could talk, you could sing, you could lip sync, you can dance. There's people earning like millions of pounds a year as TikTok influencers. It's exploded. I first heard about it through my students at work, and I've joined it a week ago. Didn't post any content, had got 50 followers in a week, and then in 2 days I posted some tiny little videos of me. Am I allowed to swear?
I've sworn twice already, so carry on.
Like all made up, I fuck in the camera basically, and like posing and pouting and stuff. But you get some really like model-like people on it, doing dances, and they know what they're doing. Sex sells. But I've in 2 days of posting some tiny short little videos of me posing and with music over the top. I've got like 70 followers now, and it's just going up and up and up, and DMs all the time, which I ignore, by the way, unless it's about poetry. But I think it's anyone that is into social media should at least go and look at it and see what you think, because I do think it's the future. Yeah,
me too as well. Now, obviously, I know you're also on Twitter, aren't you, as well? So
yeah, I don't tweet that much, but I do like to have a little rant sometimes. But I would probably these days have a rant on YouTube. Oh, I'm also on YouTube actually, so I've just started that page up again, which is I'm trying to think if it is the Rebel Poetess. It might be Purple Poetess. We can find it, can't we?
We could do that later. Because people are wondering, obviously, like, look at the right at the bottom of the podcast here. I'll have all Katie's details on there then. So, because we both forgot what some of these were at the same time, so it doesn't help matters. So that's fine.
But yeah, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok, I would say the main ones. Or email. Forget about email now, but yeah, take it for granted.
Yeah, do that as well then. Vanny is about poetry, right? Of course, right? So, so okay, guys and girls, that's it for the first part. We'll let Katie get composed, and we're back to you in 2 minutes. See you in a second.
Spoken Labour.
Hi guys, still here with Katie. I've not actually confirmed the poems Katie's going to do now. She was talking about 4 or 5 before. Whether that's 4 or 5 dozen, I'm not sure yet.
No, I could easily have done, but yeah, I've had to be strict and edit which ones I'm going to read.
That's fine. You go for it, my friend, okay? Go for it whenever you're ready.
Okay, thank you. Right, so I've picked 4 or 5 different poems to read. Most of them are quite recent, within the last 2 or 3 years. So I think I'm just going to read them and try not to waffle too much. So the first, I've just realised, sorry, there was one that I don't think I've got there. So no, that's fine. See, waffle. Right, so the first one I'm going to read was written in 2018, as Andy mentioned, a time when I'd gone through quite a lot of turmoil in my personal life, which I really want or need to go into here. We've all been through trauma. But the good thing was it resulted in an outpouring of creativity and some poems I'm really, really fucking proud of. Sorry to swear. If you don't like swearing, then you might want to follow me. But I don't swear all the time. So anyway, this first poem, it's about mental health. And it was inspired by a meme I saw about Disney being dead inside. It's called Disney is Dead Inside. I'm just going to read it. Disney is dead inside. Mickey's eyes have lost their sparkle. Minnie is stalking Meghan Markle. Donald Duck's gone schizophrenic, frantic, fiery, frickin' frenetic. Princess Elsa's not sound of mind. Belle's bipolar. Such a bind. Winnie the Pooh's having a wobble. Cinderella's got the collie wobbles. Ariel's anxiety is at breaking point. But why? It's hard to pinpoint. Princess Jasmine feels just fine, or so you'd think from looking online. Olaf's OCD is off the chart. He's channeling his pain into snowy art. Rapunzel's on a cocktail of drugs when all she needs is a massive hug. Pluto's on Prozac, so watch your back. Goofy's got PTSD, Gaston's got the blues, Cinderella's lost her sparkly shoes. Anna's anorexia, or what's it to you? Sugar-coated hopes and dreams, cute fluffy kittens and motivational memes. When really it's time, make-believe died, and even Disney is dead inside. Thank you.
Brilliant.
So
Great
the
start.
next poem.
Great start, that.
Okay,
Well, I'm going to ask you,
thanks.
why did you... Sorry, Katie, quick question for
Yeah,
Karen.
no, sorry. Yeah, go for
what
it.
made you want to do this about Disney? Is it a kind of loss of innocence poem, this one?
Kind of, but I think I've always loved Disney. But I remember years ago seeing another meme. It was something like a group that a load of women joined called "Why Disney Has Ruined My Faith in Men," and I knew it was ironic, but I found it quite sad that saying that men are so shitty that you can't believe in them as being someone that's going to save you. Not that another person should save you, but yeah, it was just based on that whole Disney's got a perfect image, haven't they? And then someone tweeted this meme back in 2018, and it got a lot of shit online, I think. So it's about, I suppose it's mainly about an image being pristine and then it being shattered.
Right, yeah, no, I get it. But no, it's good. I thought I was right with that. I knew it was something about loss, definitely. So, no, it's a great start anyway. Okay, let you go straight into number 2 now. No more questions.
Okay, so this next one was also written in 2018. And it was inspired by reading about Kim Kardashian had been for a vampire facial, which is where you have blood taken out of you and injected into your face to make your face look all young and sounds horrible. Each to their own, but I'm not very good with needles or anything invasive, like, oh, you'll see. If people want to do that to themselves, then they can do that, but not something I choose to do personally. So this poem was inspired by that. This is You Are Enough. There is a YouTube video of this as well. You are enough. No Botox, no fillers, no vampire facial. You are enough. No thigh gap, no leg day, no hashtag Monday reservation. You are enough. No Brazilian blow dry, no human hair extensions, no short choppy bangs. You are enough. No slimming world, no starvation, no hashtag clean eating. You are enough. Just you, your heart and mind, your body and soul. You are enough. Thanks.
Well, that's really powerful, that there. Definitely.
Thanks.
So, yeah,
I'm
nice. Really proud of that.
That's got quite a lot of love over the years. But I think it's a message that even I forget it myself sometimes. That it's, although it's not a really simple message, it's hard to always remember it for yourself. It's easy to be kind to other people, but it's hard sometimes to be kind to yourself. Yeah,
no, straight away. I agree with you completely with that. I think a lot of people got to learn sometimes when they get older, it comes older, sometimes the wisdom is you learn to love yourself more, and sometimes learning it is a hard process.
I was having a conversation with a friend recently, and they were saying, like, the most important thing that they've learned in life is to accept themselves as they really are. And I think, like I said, some people accept themselves quite early on, but like certainly for both of us, and it's it takes time. But I think you can see a difference in someone that likes themselves who they are and someone that's trying to be something they're not.
Yeah, no, I agree completely. So, right, okay, we better move on, aren't we? We'll be here all night, otherwise.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah. I didn't know if I'd have anything to say, so
you've done great.
A good host.
I'm the hostess of the mostest.
Okay, so this next one, see the theme here. This was also written in 2018. I have got lots of poems over the years, but like I said, with the outpouring of the reinvention, these are some that I'm particularly proud of. So this one was about the world. So you can tell I'm not big on football. Was it the World Cup in 2018? Was it the Euros? I don't even know.
One of them.
One of them.
One of the other. I think it's probably Euros. Euros.
Yeah, it was about that and that summer, and how that summer, as I briefly touched on, was a real time of turmoil. But actually, the sun was shining. Got to go out in the sun, have a few mad nights out. So what could have been a really awful time, like anything, you had to make the most of it. So this is about the mood in England in summer 2018. It's called This Is England. Okay, this is England. This summer, England's felt like Rome. Sunshine, shade, and it's coming home. Me and me mum and me nan and me dad, and a bucket of Vindaloo. Bucket, it's coming home. This is England, and it's coming home. DJs grooving and breaking beats, pumped up lads, hissing in the street. Kids and dads waving flags, boozers and cruisers sharing fags. This is England, and it's coming home. The sun beats down, and it feels like Rome. Come on, England, the nation roars. 3 lions on a shirt, hot girls in tiny skirts, nans and granddads, mums and dads. It's vibrant, it's wild, it's proper mad. This is England, and it's coming home. Just like our boys back in '66. It's groovy, it's funky, it's proper sick. Southgate in his waistcoat looking suave and sharp. Mums and girls scoring goals in the park. Students and workers in St. George unite. We're rapping, we're rocking it, and we feel just fine. This is England, and it's coming home. Summer of love, this could be Rome. The end.
I like the ending there, definitely with that. So yeah, you definitely like that. Oh, it's got. I could really see that piece there. It's very much a performance
there's a YouTube
piece.
video of that one as well, but yeah, I'm glad it captures a mood.
Yeah, it's definitely a sort of performance piece. Yeah, definitely I saw that. Yeah, excellent.
I think having been to a few as a Manchester Knights, I'm always really in awe of how the Manchester poets perform their stuff, like especially without having the book in front of them. That's something that I want to work on really. But yeah, it's definitely performance based. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's not something I could do. So I'm dyspraxic and dyspraxia makes that impossible. I get around it, but yeah, I know what you mean. So. Okay, are you going to do 2 more, or is this going to be a finale?
No, I did have. Let me just look at my list. There's definitely one. Well, there is another one. Right. So there's. Yeah, I can definitely do 2 more if there's time.
Yeah, perfect. Different. We've got loads of time. Go for it.
Pardon? Sorry, mate.
Yeah, we've got time for 2. Yeah, go for it.
Okay. The first one, I probably need to give a trigger warning because it is about I didn't have that about a form abuse of a relationship or an incident in relationship relating to I'll just read it, but yeah, trigger warning regarding sexual, not abuse, but sexual, domestic abuse, I'd say. Not physical abuse, verbal abuse, but there's thin lines everywhere. So this is called 2006, which is the year that the incident it's about happened. So I'll just read it, and it's quite hard hitting. So if anyone's listening and they think they would find it hard to listen to, then I won't be offended if anyone covers their ears or walks away or something. So this is called, I just have a drink to get my nerve up to read it. I don't think I've ever read this one anywhere. So here goes. This is called 2006. 2 couples, her in white dress, him in morning suit. You in your grey suit, me in a strapless Jane Norman number. We are all 24. You 7 years our senior. Now in 2006, you act like the man-child you are. Photos from that day show smiles, a cake cut, me holding a wedding favour. The next morning, you scream at me for asking you to join me for the B&B breakfast I paid for. My hands shake as I butter the toast in this beautiful Cambridgeshire bed and breakfast. Through the glass, I see the red glow tip of your Lambert and Butler glow as, unable to resist a freebie, you've changed your tune. You sit down to full English as though nothing has happened. Before we leave, you take me from behind in the hotel bathroom, still wearing suspenders, my wedding heels, which pinch my feet. 6 months later, I leave you. 10 years later, she leaves him, and I wish we'd both seen the red flags sooner. That's that one.
Good grief, good grief.
So yeah, that's I wrote that, I think that was either 2018 or 2019. I heard Holly McNeish read a poem and the style of it inspired that really. But yeah, as you can tell, it's a poem that was a long time coming really.
Yeah, there's real rage in that piece, but what you've done is rage that you've held back. So yeah, I must respect you there, Katie, that one. So there's a lot you could say, but we'll just move straight on. You got my love and respect for that one straight away. So
yeah, thank you. So the last one, it's a love poem. It was written in 2018, although I think it's one that can be universal, really. It's about love, but it's also about travel, potential. So yeah, like I said, I'm not going to go into anything personal, but I think it's appropriate to read it today. And like I mentioned, I've always had a real country siren song pulling me back to the Northwest. I'm in the Southwest now, but this is a national and international poem. So it's also about social media. Hope you like it, everyone. Thanks for listening, and come and check me out, not in that way, on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and join the conversation at the Rebel Poetess. So this is called Our Holidays Are Not Public Property. I want to romance you in Rome, be my Valentine in Verona, scale the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel and witness the creation of Adam on your skin. I want to frolic in Florence, pour out poetry in Portugal. I want to double date in Dublin, dine out in Dubrovnik, bed in Budapest, John's Imagine inked on my skin. A summer of love on the yellow submarine, me in my short shorts, you the ship's captain. I want you to take me out in Thailand, ravish me in Rio, serenade me in Siena, arouse me in the Algarve, gently caress me in Germany, seduce me in San Francisco, amuse me on the Amalfi Coast, marry me in Milano, and lay me by Lake Como. Love me do on Penny Lane, hold my hand on Matthew Street, strawberry fields forever, no selfie sticks, no Instagram hashtags. I want to remember the oceans in your eyes, have fireworks naked under the stars, no looking at the camera, but into each other's eyes. I want to put our photos in frames, not on Instagram, because our holidays are not public property. Thank you.
Tremendous. Great way. Finish off that, Katie. It's a tremendous set. Thank you for that. So that's it anyway, guys and girls. So
Okay.
Katie, hang around. I do need to speak to you off mic, but it's been a pleasure today. It's been great to chat to you. The first time in about 11 years. Yeah, good fun meeting along last.
I was thinking I'll have to virtually join some of your events that you do, poetry events.
Always welcome. Right. Always welcome. We'll speak about off mic in a minute. So anyway, guys and girls, that's it for this time. I'll say thank you again, Katie. It's been great to finally meet in one way after another after 11 years. So it's Perks Facebook, everybody. So that's it anyway, guys and girls. So as Don Callis says, stay safe and stay over, and we'll see you all next time.
Spoken, mate.